Remember when Googling the right thing would be a skill? This is exactly how it is with AI. Knowing the terms leads to 10x faster AI development. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 16 essential development terms that every AI dev needs to know before jumping into AI assisted coding. Tools like Lovable and Bolt are amazing for prototyping, but if you want to communicate effectively with AI agents like Claude Code, Cursor, Windsurf, Copilot, you need to understand the fundamental concepts they're working with. For those new here, over the past 5 years, I've run a no-code agency helping 100 plus founders build and launch their startups. We are now helping founders using AI code development and sharing our learnings in our school community as we go. Let's get started. So you don't know what you don't know until you know the right words to say. That's the theme here. The problem is, if you just say, I want to make a thing that stores user information, AI will struggle. AI will kind of come up with something, but it will lead to confusion and frustration. But if you say, create a user's data table with authentication, AI immediately understands and the agent can handle everything else. So again, knowing the terms is 10x faster development. The foundation is the database. First, let's talk about where your app's information lives, the data foundation. Think of this as a smart Excel spreadsheet where your app stores everything. Posts, order, you name it. Unlike a regular spreadsheet, databases have rules and relationships. That's what's stored in the database schema. Now, database tables are specific types of data within your database. I have a users table, I have a posts table, I have an orders table. Each row is an individual record. Each column is a data field or a type. So your users table might have columns for name, email, sign up date. Now the next thing is CRUD. Create, read, update, delete. These are the 4 basic things that you do with data. Every single feature in your app kind of boils down to this operation. Add a new user is create, show user profiles is read, edit profiles is update, delete account is delete. When you're talking to Claude Code or any AI agent about building features, you're essentially asking it to create CRUD operations around your database tables and show you information in different manners. Now, how does data get from your database to what users actually see? That is around the API endpoints. This is like a restaurant menu for your app. It's a specific address that your app calls to get or send data. API/users gives you users. API/post/creates will let you create a post. It's the bridge between what your users see and where your data lives. API orders 1 to 3 is getting a specific order from the backend. Now, another concept that trips a lot of people up is authentication versus authorization. Authentication is you are who you are. That's login and identity verification. Authorization is what can you do. That's permissions and access control. Authentication proves users are who you are. So a regular user and admin, they will both authenticate with email and password, but admins are authorized for the admin dashboard. Regular users are not authorized for the admin dashboard. They're on the user dashboard. Quick pause. If you're finding this helpful, do smash that like button. It helps the algorithm show this to other people who may also need this information. And right next to the like button is that subscribe one as well. Now let's talk about the visual side. What users actually interact with. The front end, it's like components. The word component is like Lego blocks for your user interface. A button is a component. A form is a component. A user profile card is a component. Everything is a component. You write them once and use them everywhere in your application. State is how your app remembers things. Is the user logged in? What's in their shopping cart? Which tab is currently active? State keeps everything in sync as users click around the app itself. Form validation. It's getting slightly technical now, but hang in there. This is the thing that checks your user input before you process it. Is the email format valid? Is the password valid? Is the username taken? That's validating the form. And you have to make sure you don't just validate the form in the front end, but also in the back end. Otherwise, the wrong user can log in with the wrong credentials, and you don't want that to happen. All right, security might not be exciting, but it's critical. RLS policies. This is database level permissions. Instead of just saying users can access the users table, RLS lets you say users can only see their own data. It's security built into the data layer itself, not just the app layer. Environment. You need different setups usually. This is not always true, but generally for production development, you need development, which is where you build and test, and production, where your real users are. You usually tend to have two databases, two deployment environments. Maybe sometimes development is just on your computer. But in some cases, for our agency clients, development is also live on a URL so that our clients can see it before we deploy it to production. Deployment is about publishing your code changes so users can see them. Like publishing a book, you write it, edit it, and then make it available to everyone. Good deployment means you push a button and users get new features. Migration, now this is a tricky one. This happens more in production apps once you are already live with users. This is how you safely update your database structure. We used to have a feed with posts and comments. We added the ability to like a comment. This will require a migration, a new column, a new relationship. And that's how you keep a track of how changes happen in your database as your app grows. Now some easy terms, which is like loading state. This is what users see while they're waiting. Have you ever clicked a button and then nothing happened and you try clicking again? That's a broken loading state. You want spinners, progress bars, skeleton screen, something to prevent the blank screen and make the slow operations feel a bit faster, and users will not drop off. If they don't see anything happen, there's a chance that they'll just drop off. If anything's too confusing, drop a comment below and I read every comment and use your feedback to make better content. Now let's talk about keeping your code organized and error-free. TypeScript. This is JavaScript with type checking. It catches errors before users see them. This is a bit like spell check, but for code structure. If you try and pass a number where the code expects a string, TypeScript will warn you an error out. You'll get deployment errors. Component properties. Now, if you have a table and a pop-up, how does information go from the table when you click the edit button to the pop-up and preload an information? That is component properties. It's how navigation between different components of your app happens. If this saves you time and confusion, hit that subscribe button. I've built 100 products using no code and Bubble, but now AI development and code is new to me, and I'm sharing everything as I learn along here and in the school community. If you want to go deeper, I've got an idea to app school community with over 100 founders. We do weekly live Q&A calls. I've got a 70-minute crash course on production-ready deployment and a complete zero to production SaaS build that took me 15 hours to record. There's a link in the description below. Remember, start with the basics, master the fundamentals before adding complexity. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.